Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we're just going to talk about some Bellator. Haven't done a Bellator preview and predictions yet here on the channel. I'm just going to do the main event though. It of course is Lyoto Machida and Ryan Bader starting off the Grand Prix over at 205. I feel like, the card's just kind of meh. I'll tell you my predictions for the main fights. I think the fights a lot of people are concerned about. We've got of course Kat Zingano's on this card. I think she'll probably win. She's like a minus 800 favorite for good reason. Also Liz Carmouche is on this card. I think she'll beat Vanessa Porto. I think she should. And yeah, I think Adam Borch probably does beat Jeremy Kennedy as well. So those are the main three fights other than the main event of the evening. And let's talk about the main event of the evening. It is Ryan Bader. It is Lyoto Machida, the Bellator heavyweight champion in Ryan Bader's coming back down to 205 after losing the light heavyweight championship to Nemkov. And then for Lyoto Machida, coming off back-to-back losses here in his Bellator run. Of course, two very close fights he did lose. They were both split decisions to Mr. Wonderful Phil Davis and to Gegard Moussaoui. And yeah, let's get started here with our main event prediction. But folks, if you have not yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below for more MMA content here on the channel. I usually just do UFC. This is my first ever Bellator video, so there's that. I was going to do one championship, but I was going to pick Eddie Alvarez and Demetrius Johnson last night, so good thing we didn't make that video. But okay, let's get now to this Machida versus Bader fight. So yeah, Lyoto Machida currently 2-2 in the Bellator cage. Again, comes into Bellator, wins his first two fights, most notably his second fight, win over Chael P. Sonnen, the greatest of all time. It was a pretty damn good win for Lyoto Machida. Chael Sonnen really didn't do anything against Machida in that fight. Caught the greatest of all time, Chael P. Sonnen, with two big flying knees, and tough to watch as a Chael fan. But yeah, Lyoto did his job, eventually put him away in the second round. You could have said maybe the fight should have been stopped in the first round. Chael got to the second, and Lyoto put him away in that second round. After that, Sonnen, of course, retired. So then Machida, later that year, 3 months later, goes on, takes on Gegard Moussaoui in the co-main event, and yeah, loses the fight. A very close fight. I would say Gegard did win that fight, but the fight I want to talk about mostly, though, is the Phil Davis fight. So again, that was on September 11th, 2020, main event over in the Mohegan Sun in Connecticut. Not a great fight, if we're going to keep real with ourselves here. It was kind of a boring fight. Or as the hardcore fans like to call it, it was a technical fight. Phil Davis looked good in that one, scored a couple takedowns in that fight. I did have it for Phil Davis, but again, it just wasn't a great fight. Lyoto Machida worked his leg kicks pretty well in that fight, but that's really the best I can say. Again, not much happened in that fight. Phil Davis again worked a couple takedowns using Phil Davis, of course, tremendous wrestling. Lyoto Machida trying to keep this fight on the feet, did well at parts of it, but Phil Davis overall did a pretty good job striking with Lyoto Machida, worked in the clinch a couple times in that fight, brought him down to the ground. Yeah, Phil Davis couldn't keep him down for multiple points in that fight, but still, Mr. Wonderful did enough to win that fight. And yeah, that's been Machida's run so far in Bellator. So again, he beats Chael P. Sonnen in his second fight, and it was a fight that, again, Machida's supposed to win that. Takes on Gegard, loses. Takes on Phil Davis, loses. Both by split decision, however. Yeah, again, the Davis fight, just a technical fight, very slow fight. And then the Gegard fight, I thought he lost. And of course, it was a split decision for Moussaoui. My thing with Machida, though, is he's 42 years old, so he is getting up there in age. Of course, the man was the UFC champion in 2009. That's when he beat Rashad Evans for the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship. Then, of course, he kind of beat Shogun. Shogun definitely won the first fight, and then in the second fight, Shogun finished Lyoto Machida. But again, something we need to talk about is Machida and Bader, their first fight. Obviously, this is the rematch. Their first fight was in 2012 on UFC on Fox 4. You got to go back to the main event. Was one championship heavyweight champion Brandon Vera taking on Shogun Hua. And yeah, the co-main event, of course, was Lyoto Machida, Ryan Bader. Bader looked all right in the first round, but in the second round, Bader basically just bit down the mouthpiece, rushed right into Lyoto Machida's striking, and boom, Machida just put him down. I don't know what else to say. Bader just kind of hands down, just kind of went for it, lowered the head, tried to go for a big overhand right, Machida just put him down to the mat. Again, this though was a long damn time ago. UFC on Fox 4. This is 2012. So we're 9 years later. Both guys very different fighters than that time. at that time, I guess Machida was coming off that loss to John Jones for the World Championship, and then for Ryan Bader, he's coming off a win over Quinn Rampage Jackson, one of his bigger wins to date at that time, obviously. But yeah, so again, 2012, it's a long time ago. So that's Lyoto Machida, that's the Dragon. Let's talk about his opponent, though, in Ryan Bader. And yeah, Bader's last fight, let's admit, was not very good. All right, he looked okay in the first round. Again, pretty even first round. And then the second round, Nemkov just kicks him in the head. And was it a late stoppage? Maybe. But again, the referee did give Bader every chance to get back into that fight. He never did get back in the fight. Eventually got up, and then Nemkov just kind of chased him down. I think it was a left he hit him with once Bader got back up, and then, yeah, the fight was over. But it was a perfectly placed head kick by Nemkov. Because Bader's going to his left. Nemkov throws the left kick. As soon as Bader is swaying to his left, boom, catches him right on the chin, puts Ryan Bader down. It's a very good win for Nemkov, obviously the new Bellator light heavyweight champion, but now we got the Grand Prix going. Who knows what is going to happen? But yeah, Ryan Bader not going back up into heavyweight. If he wins this fight against Machida, he will have to obviously stay at 205. It's interesting though, because he hasn't defended the heavyweight championship since September of 2019. He didn't even win that fight. It was a fight against Czech Congo, where was Czech Congo faking the eye poke? Maybe. Was Ryan Bader about to win that fight? Maybe, but still, it was a no contest. It was an eye poke. And yeah, Czech Congo never got his rematch, lost to Timothy Johnson. I thought Czech Congo won that fight, but it's all right. And Bader, yeah, still hasn't defended the championship after he beat Fedor Emelianenko for it back in January of 2019. I mean, he caught him with the left, put Fedor down, end of the night. Before that, he beat Matt Mitrione, again at heavyweight though. That was in the Grand Prix, won that one pretty easily, and then before that, beat King Mo by KO, knocked him out in about 10 seconds. He gets to Bellator, beats Phil Davis, and yeah, that's basically been the run for Ryan Bader in Bellator. Of course, the only loss in the Bellator cage being against Nemkov. Yeah, so Bader, of course, I think does have the power advantage in this one, but of course, we know how good of a striker Lyoto Machida is. We know how good his kicks are. Again, we've seen him head kick legends in the past. Do you put Ryan Bader in the same level as, I mean, Randy Couture and Vitor Belfort? Maybe you do, but I mean, Machida, we have seen him with the front head kick knockouts, which are absolutely insane. Do I think he's gonna do that to Ryan Bader? No, I don't think so. So I definitely think Bader does have the power advantage in this one. I mean, you gotta say so. Bader is 37 years old, is getting up there in age, but Machida's 42. And he is coming off a 2-fight losing streak, given in 2 fights against Gegard and Phil Davis, which were both very close. But again, I think this one will probably stay on the feet. I mean, yeah, we might see Bader use some of his wrestling, but again, I just don't see it happening. I really see a stand-up fight in this one. I think Ryan Bader wins it. I think, again, the power is going to be too much. Bader is a very big 205-pounder. Lyoto Machida is a 185-pounder going back up to 205. And I know he was the former light heavyweight champion in UFC, but like, man, I mean, he fought middleweight for a long damn time as well. Came back up to 205 when he did fight Chael P. Sonnen. And then since then, I mean, he did lose to Gegard at middleweight, and then came back up and fought Phil Davis at light heavyweight, which he lost. So he is 1-1 in light heavyweight in the last, 5 years, give or take. But again, I just think Bader's just gonna be too good for Lyoto Machida at this point. Again, he didn't look good in the Nemkov fight, but Lyoto Machida hasn't looked great in his last 2 fights either. And yes, the Gegard fight was all right, but the Phil Davis fight, if you just kind of stand there against Ryan Bader's gonna find a way to beat you like that. I mean, Machida, again, that entire fight, check leg kicks. Phil Davis was the one pushing the pressure in that fight. It was a very boring fight. I don't suggest you go watch that one. I just think Bader's the all-around better fighter, and that's how simple I'm gonna keep it. I think Ryan Bader's gonna knock out Lyoto Machida in this fight. I know Machida has not been knocked out in Bellator yet. I mean, when was the last time Lyoto Machida did get finished? You got to go back to the Derek Brunson fight on the main event in 2017. I think we're going to see a finish here. I think Ryan Bader's going to knock out Lyoto Machida, get back on track here at 205. And yeah, I think Bader will probably get it done. If I had to pick a round, I'll say in the third. Or no, I'll say the second round. I think Bader gets it done in the second round. I really think he does. And while we're at it, I don't know if we're ever going to do another Bellator video here on the channel, so let's just make my predictions for the Grand Prix. Let's start here, of course, with Bader and Machida. We got Ryan Bader going on to the second round. Then we got Corey Anderson taking on Dovletsan Yashiromirdov. I definitely botched that one. I just know him as the ACA guy. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I think this is a levels fight. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Corey Anderson's gonna win this one. So we have Anderson and Bader on the left side of the bracket. Nemkov, Phil Davis. Call me crazy. I'm gonna pick Phil Davis. I don't know why. I'm gonna pick Phil Davis to win that one. Going with the big upset in that one. I'm giving Mr. Wonderful. And then we got Anthony Rumble Johnson and Yoel Romero. Now, this is probably the toughest fight to call out of all of them. Going Anthony Johnson. If we see any of the Anthony Johnson that we saw in the UFC, I think he's going to do enough to beat Yoel Romero. Yoel Romero has not fought at 205. Going to take Rumble to win that one. So then we got Bader and Corey Anderson on the left side of the bracket. Going Ryan Bader, I think. I think Bader's, again, I really like the power out of Ryan Bader. I think he'll be able to win that fight against Corey Anderson. Then we got Phil Davis and Anthony Johnson. Going Rumble again, I guess. Screw it, we'll go Anthony Rumble Johnson to win the light heavyweight championship. Bader, Rumble in the finals, and give me Ryan Bader, I guess. I don't know. Again, this could all change in like 2 days, but right now, I'm taking Ryan Bader to win the entire thing. Again, Nemkov could definitely win the entire thing as well. I took a big Hail Mary pick, taking Phil Davis. But yeah, that's just my current predictions here with the Grand Prix, and then of course with Lyoto Machida and Ryan Bader. So folks, thank y'all for watching this quick predictions video here with Ryan Bader and Lyoto Machida with Bellator coming up this Friday night. And if you are looking for some more MMA content, I do make UFC videos every single week, previewing predictions. I do the entire card. Just did Holland and Vittori, by the way. Go check that one out if you have not yet, and make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Again, folks, thank y'all for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video, and Mamba forever.